The Myth of Sisyphus by Albert Camus. Before we begin into our video, I would like to tell you about how many topics we are going to cover. So it's about the author, introduction, background of the study, plot and the story, literary devices, Greek mythology, gods, summary, analysis, and the conclusion. So that is all I would like to cover it in one video. So if you wish to get hold of this information, then you know the drill. Stay with me, and without further ado, let's begin into our video. Talking about Albert Camus, he was a French philosopher and is known for his existentialist philosophy and literary works. So he was born in 1913 and he won the Nobel Prize in Literature in 1957 for his notable contributions to literature. Now, talking about the work of Albert Camus, The Myth of Sisyphus, so it is not a novel but an extended essay by Camus, which was published in 1942. Now, it dives into the philosophical concepts of absurdity, existentialism, and nihilism. Now, these are the concepts or the isms which I'm going to talk about at the end. Now, this essay talks and explores about human condition and the absurdity of life, that how a person or a human is condemned to push and pull the rock up the hill and then it falls again at the bottom. Now, this was a punishment and it is used as a metaphor that how human condition is made absurd and there's no meaning in life. Talking about the plot, let me tell you the plot of this essay, which is mainly based on absurdism, existentialism, and nihilism, which means the meaninglessness of life. अब हमारे पास आते हैं ग्रीक माइथोलॉजी के गॉड्स जो कि कभी किसी को माफ़ नहीं करते किसी भी मिस्टेक पे. Now we are talking about a lot of Greek mythology gods: Hades, Zeus, Thanatos, Ares. Now these are the gods of the Greek mythology. Sisyphus जो था वो फर्स्ट किंग था एरा का, which is now known as Corinth. ये एक अच्छा किंग इस तरह था कि इसने अपने एरिया को बहुत प्रॉस्परस बना दिया था, बट ये एक बहुत ही टायरेंट भी था क्योंकि ही seduced his own niece and killed a lot of visitors just to show the power. अब ये जो सिसिफस की सारी हरकतें थी, बीइंग टायरेंट एंड किलिंग अ लॉट ऑफ पीपल एंड विजिटर्स ऑफ हिज ओन लैंड, तो ग्रीक माइथोलॉजी को बहुत ज़्यादा इस पे गुस्सा आया एंड दे विश टू नेवर फॉरगिव सिसिफस. फॉर दैट रीज़न स्टिल सिसिफस जो है इन सारे ट्रबल से ख़ुद को सेफ रखता था. नाउ द ट्रबल कम्स when Zeus kidnapped the nymph Aegina, who was the daughter of the river god Sisyphus. Now Sisyphus went to the king of Ephyra, who was the myth of Sisyphus, who was basically the Sisyphus. Now Sisyphus ने पूछा सिसिफस से कि ज़ीयस मेरी बेटी को कहाँ लेके गया है. अब जब ज़ीयस को पता लगा कि सिसिफस ने सब कुछ बता दिया एरिफिस को, ज़ीयस को बहुत ज़्यादा गुस्सा आया एंड ही ऑर्डर्ड थानाटस और डेथ. Thanatos or death जो है वो एक he is considered to be the god of death and he takes the lives of the people. So Zeus ordered Thanatos to chain Sisyphus in the underground world that he is not able to cause any more troubles further ahead. सिसिफस बहुत ही ज़्यादा एक चालाक इंसान था और इसने थानाटॉस को कहा कि लेट मी शो यू हाउ द चेन वर्क्स, और मैं तुम्हें बताता हूँ कि लोग कैसे चेन्स बांधते हैं दूसरे पे. तो वो इस तरह बताते बताते उसको थानाटॉस को ही कैद कर लेता है जंजीरों में और उधर से सिसिफस भाग जाता है. जब एक गॉड ऑफ डेथ जो है वो ट्रैप्ड है थानाटस, तो nobody in the world can die because he's in chains and nobody can die in this world. अब ये सब कुछ इसी तरह चल रहा था जब तक थानाटस जो है वो चेन में था, बट अनटिल द गॉड ऑफ वॉर जो कि एरीज था वो आया है, उसने थानाटस को चेन से हटाया है एंड देन बैक टू नॉर्मल. सिसिफस न्यू अब उसको जवाब देना होगा जो भी चीज़ें इसने की थी ग्रीक गॉड्स के साथ. अब सिसिफस के माइंड में एक और प्लान था एंड ही टोल्ड हिज वाइफ मैरपी कि तुम मुझे रिवर में फेंक दो। इट वॉज नोन एज पब्लिक स्क्वायर और उसकी बॉडी जाते जाते द रिवर ऑफ स्टिंग्स में चली गई। सिसिफस ने अप्रोच किया परसेफनी को, हु वाज द क्वीन ऑफ अंडरवर्ल्ड। और अब सिसिफस ने परसेफनी को कहा कि इस तरह मेरी वाइफ ने मुझे प्रॉपर बरियल नहीं दिया और आई वांट सम टाइम। सो देन परसेफनी ने उसको टाइम दिया और उसको कहा कि ओके गो एंड पनिश मैरपी एंड देन कम बैक अगेन। But ultimately Sisyphus refused to keep his promise. Now he twice escaped the death and made fool of Greek gods. There was no third time of Sisyphus escaping. So इसको वापस एक मैसेंजर हर्म्स वापस हेडीज के पास लेके जाता है और देन अल्टीमेटली ही is punished for the lifetime. Sisyphus' punishment was to roll a massive boulder up a hill and then it again comes down to the bottom, and again this process repeats and repeats and repeats, and this is the never ending task and it is a punishment for the lifetime. Even our daily struggles of life are repetitive, but still we affirm and embrace our struggles. Talking about the literary devices, the first we have is the metaphor. Now, the myth of Sisyphus as an essay, it itself serves as a metaphor for the human condition. ह्यूमन कंडीशन की बात जब करें तो वी प्रैक्टिस द सेम थिंग अगेन एंड it even serves no value and meaning. The allegory is similar to metaphor and it says and represents the struggle of an individual in a life to find meaning in life despite its inherent meaninglessness. Irony ये है कि whatever human does for himself has no inherent meaning. So the existential themes are that we need to find the meaning, and there should be meaning in anything we do. We should search for the meaning and the confrontation of human condition. As everybody in this world has the job to do something in their lives to make it a better living. Rhetorical question says that the questions prompt contemplation about life's meaninglessness and humans' response to the actual world reality. यूज़ की गई है सारे ऐसे में vivid imagery है that portrays the myth of Sisyphus and its elements, their visual representation and the central struggle of the human experience. Then we have paradox. पैराडॉक्स ये है इस ऐसे में कि थ्रू आउट दी ऐसे सिसिफस जो है अपनी डेथ से भाग रहा होता है या किंग ऑफ डेथ से विच इज़ द ग्रीक गॉड Thanatos, but still if it's meaninglessness and there's the absurdity in life, then why was he running for his life? There is no inherent meaning in life, then he should die, but he kept on escaping his death. Greek gods, I have already enlisted the names. One is Theseus, the king of gods. One is Hades. Then the Thanatos, Ares, the god of war. So let's discuss these. He is known to be the king of gods and he is responsible for condemning Sisyphus to his eternal punishment for his deceitful nature and trickery. Then we have Hades, who is known to be the god of underworld, and he's responsible for the and is involved in the Sisyphus punishment while Sisyphus cheats death twice, and he even manages to deceive Hades. We have Thanatos, who is the king or the god of death. You can say that it is just the mere personification of death. He manages to escape death twice. So we have Ares, the god of war, and Ares is briefly mentioned in the context of Sisyphus' bravery and cunning nature, and he makes sure that Sisyphus is punished severely. As I have already discussed the absurdity of existence or the existential reward, so analysis we'll talk about now. It is the central theme that revolves around the absurdity of life. In the universe, there's no inherent meaning or purpose. When we talk about Camus, so he says that I do not believe in God, whereas I am not even the atheist. Camus suggests a form of rebellion against the absurdism, and he proposes embracing personal freedom and creating subjective meaning in the meaningless world. When we talk about the human freedom, so Camus says that there should be freedom and choice of any individual human being, and we should confront anything that is presented in life, whether even if it's the meaninglessness. Talking about the philosophical questions, despite the absurdity, we should search for meaning, which even says and is present. The idea is present is in existentialism. We have allegory, metaphor, irony, rhetorical questions, and many more as the literary devices conveys the existential ideas. Talking about the ism, now it says that even if there is nothing in the world or there's no meaning in the world, so a human should create their own meaning in life. So it mainly relies on the subjective opinion and choices rather than the objective ones. Talking about the concept of absurdism, so it is similar to nihilism, and we even have a play or a drama, Waiting for Godot by Samuel Beckett. When the world wars got over, there was a great depression that happened, and because of that there was the concept of absurdism. Now there was no inherent meaning in life and there was meaninglessness everywhere. If you people have read that play, you would be very aware of the fact that even though life has no meaning, there's a kind of cosmic joke and absurdity, the humor and the irony to cope with the realization of meaninglessness. Then we have nihilism, which profoundly believes that life has no inherent meaning, the way atheists say that there is no God. So, in it, we have no purpose and value to serve in life. It is very much related to religion, as it rejects traditional morality and religious belief that we should follow one God, or we should have that fear in our hearts, so that we could not do any bad to others. So it rejects that idea. Nihilism has a very bold lead to the despair, hopelessness, and apathy. We have nihilism and absurdism that rejects the idea of having life any inherent meaning, whereas existentialism accepts the fact that we can create our own meanings in life. Before I end this video, subscribe to my channel, and thank you so much for watching this video. Stay tuned, I'll be uploading more about literature and linguistics. Till then, take care of yourself. Allah Hafiz.